Welcome back to Jesters of Ravenloft, where a group of comedians try to escape the horrors of the mists. The horde is almost at the gates, and the troupe sort of has a not very good plan. Tyler still plans to parley with the generals while posing as his dead doppelganger. New Rogue might still be planning to pose as his still-living doppelganger, and Dell created a large matte painting to hide the werefolk, while Adam emerged from his mind palace as a blend of himself, Shadow Nemesis, and Krispy Kris, and was dismayed to find that the Doctor Deputy is missing. Their plan isn't very good, but the horde is upon them, and they no longer have the time to formulate a new one. Will Wet Change survive a battle for which they are outmatched and underprepared? I doubt it.
So in our previous episode, the armies were approaching. Our heroes were running out of time. 3 of them were coming up with a plan, or at least trying to, and the 4th, Adam, was up in a tree working inside his own mind to try to find a compromise between his good Adam personality and his evil Shadow Nemesis personality. Inside the psychological standoff, Adam decided, using a Transformers metaphor, which is something that would surprise absolutely no one unless this is the first time you've joined us, that he would do what Optimus Prime did and give his heart of friendship to Shadow Nemesis. Shadow Nemesis accepted this gift, and Adam almost died before they had to do psychosurgery and give Adam the heart of Krispy Kris, the nightmare creation of his own personality. We do not know what that means for Adam in the future, but it can't be good. However, Shadow Nemesis, with the heart of friendship fresh inside his mind body, took over Adam and brought him back down to his friends. Our heroes tried to do planning, fought amongst themselves. Shadow Nemesis was very concerned the Doctor Deputy was missing, but they did come up with a plan, however flawed or brilliant it may be. A bunch of the werefolk are up inside the trunk of the rootless evergreen, ready to ride out in support when summoned in a way we're not entirely sure of. All of the children and people who are otherwise non-combat capable are hidden behind a wall that Dell painted using her magical pigments that stretches the entire mile across the rootless evergreen, though it has a bunch of holes in it because she wasn't willing to sacrifice all of her pigments to make it happen. There are 10 werefolk who are pretending to be captives who also have Jack Magnum fake tied up with them, or they are on their knees waiting for this to all happen. Dell has jumped behind the wall where she is riding Rumple Foreskin, ready to kind of do whatever, but more importantly, not standing in the open. Tyler cast rope trick, so Shadow Nemesis has climbed up 50 feet of rope and is hiding inside a magical hut looking down at the scene below him. Tyler's playing Streamlabbing Tyler. He's doing the impersonation. He has magic. He is, I think, about to cast to make his beard move appropriately. He's also claimed the glaive of the fallen doppelganger of himself, and New Rogue is determined to play the part of a hostage as well. So he is playing the part of a captive alongside Tyler. The enemy army has crested the edge of the rootless evergreen, which is where we left things off, and we are going to find out how it all goes down now. And now it's time for us to return to Ravenloft. Tyler, I'd say you stand alone, but New Rogue is standing right next to you as the horde begins to advance. You are seeing at first tens, then dozens, then hundreds, then thousands of figures rising up over the edge of this tree and heading towards you. Is there anything you want to do at this last second to prepare your image, to paint the picture super cleanly for you? You are standing in front of the rootless evergreen. Inside the trunk, you know the combatant werefolk have gone up. There is a wall painted the full length of the rootless evergreen from the midpoint of the trunk all the way out to either edge. It has a bunch of holes in it, but it is otherwise a very good, Warner Brothers cartoon Acme level sky backdrop that has been put into place. Dell is behind that, riding Rumple Foreskin. They leapt over it. And there are all of the non-combatants hidden back there from the werefolk tribe. Where you are on your side, to your left, about 20 feet away, are 10 werefolk and Jack Magnum, who are all pretending to have been taken captive. Behind you, about 10 feet, with a magically through a rope, the rope itself is still dangling down, Shadow Nemesis has scurried up it and is waiting in position, able to look down over the scene as it happens. You are carrying the glaive of Streamlabbing Tyler, and to your right is New Rogue, who is standing with you.
Yep. I'm going to cast my final disguise self that I can to approximate the look of Streamlabbing Tyler with the thorny, like bramble beard But also I'm going to make myself look severely bloodied, and I'm going to also use disguise self to make my weapons appear to be bloodied, both the glaive and my trophy from killing Tyler, the lizard folk stone sword. I'm just gonna have them both kind of each one across my shoulders and like a big X over my back, just hanging them both. And I'll just say to New Rogue is like, all right, if you're the hostage, get on your knees, and you're captive.
Okay. Tyler, I love you.
Oh, that feels so weird. Like, I don't say this, but it feels so weird to hear that in Guy Bradford's voice, knowing that like it's not really Guy Bradford. Okay. I'm just like, I love you too, buddy. And I just try to stand there and look menacing and impressive as a villain.
And I try to look like weak and beaten up. My stomach. He pounded it.
Can you both roll me a performance?
I'm using an inspiration.
Nice.
Okay. Do you have any perspiration, just to confirm?
Yes.
Then I'm going to need you to roll me a d6 to find out if this helps or hinders you, because you are inspired but also scared.
4.
All right. It's inspiration.
Yay!
Go for it.
Oh, shit. That ended up rolling a really good thing after I hit it. Oh, God. Oh, well, never mind. Okay.
Performance +2 gives me a 21 performance.
Wow.
Okay.
So I'm using inspiration. Okay. Yes.
So what did you end up rolling?
And it's a 19.
Hey. 19. Great.
All right.
And for you, you burn a point of inspiration and a point of perspiration because you rolled them bones. So you got it done.
Yes.
You, Tyler, find yourself embodying Streamlabbing Tyler. You did not see him for a very long time, but you figure it's just got to be you with some basic opposites put into place, which is pretty clever. So what are the 3 things you do to switch Tyler to Streamlabbing Tyler? Because no one knows you better than you.
I would say I'm going to have to employ more like swagger and kind of cockiness. 1, you say 3? Mm-hmm. I'll speak loudly and crass or like meanly to people. Like I'll just be a dickhead. And third thing will be I'll be like physically like abusive as well. Like I'll like kick if I'll have to save it for when it's like a good move kind of thing to really show how Streamlab and Tyler I am. But I'll kick New Rogue in the back while he's on his knees to like topple him over. Kind of just be a mean dickhead. Yeah.
Yep, and you work the line of prisoners, shoving people, jostling people. You know the army's far enough away you can get away with some stage slaps where you don't actually have to hit them, but you can act that out.
Sorry.
Oh, you maniac.
And you're seeing this army approach, and you can see that there are in front of you clear delineations between the troop types that are spread. There are 4 different factions present. From the left, you see the fire newts, the fire lizards, these fire creatures. You can see their blood burning inside their bodies, but they seem to have a strong martial tradition. They are armed, they are armored, they are focused. You are seeing knights among them. There is a great deal of menace coming from them, and they are chanting the word Ezra over and over again, but with a menace that is deeply unsettling for you as someone who has heard Ezra spoken reverently and somewhat joyously. But these are the kind of chants that you, Tyler, would have heard in 1980s movies from cults, ranging from horror movies to less, I would say, racially sensitive movies from the 80s of people traveling around the world and facing cults. Next to them, you are seeing the lizard people, a combination of snake and human. Again, some of them menacingly snake in the top half of the body, snake in the lower half of the body. They may have a giant king cobra head, but they are all armed and armored in a traditional kind of Egyptian fashion. You're seeing a lot of kopeshes, curved blades. They're all bloodied, but their bodies are fine. These weapons have clearly seen use. But at the same time, these snake people are looking very, very good and very strong. Then you are seeing an army of the lizard folk with the single burning eyes, the same demonic troops you had seen rise out of rents in the ground when you first met Acer Sanguine. It seems to be slightly smaller in terms of numbers, but in terms of who you want to fight, these rank one of the lowest down. There is an aura of menace and magic around them. You're not sure what they're capable of, but you get the sense, even from a distance, that they can spot weakness, isolate it, and attack it. They seem to be equally tactical as much as they are evil. And the last group on your right, as you look at them, are an army of dwarves that look like Adam. They march silently. They are stomping. They are shorter than Adam, all of them at that 4 to 4.5 foot tall range, all with big bushy beards, gray scale skin, but heavily armed and seething. They all have the red eyes that Shadow Nemesis now doesn't, but the ones that were traditionally there. You can see at the center of each of these armies as they rise up and begin to come towards you in waves, there are palanquins, there are tents. There's something as a central focus of each of these factions that is being carried, brought, or dragged forwards over the rootless evergreen. The front ranks are approaching you. What do you do?
I will... I'll wait confidently. These guys are, if they're the front of this like vanguard, then they're not the people that I want to be talking to. You know, I'll wait for my opportunity to get someone to summon their generals.
Great, you let them approach.
Yeah, I just strike.
They continue to move forward as a wave, moving towards you and the tree until they come to a stop a disturbing 10 feet away from you.
Oof.
And a woman steps forwards who is snake from the waist down. She slithers out and she stands before you, raising a staff that she bangs on the ground and says, "You have taken them captive, it would seem. Why are they not dead? Why did you not report?"
Some are dead. Some I kept alive for questioning.
Stop with the questions.
Yeah, there we go. Now that's my opportunity to kick him. Like silence.
Great. Can you roll me a D4, Tyler?
Yeah. Jesus. 2.
2. All right, we'll cut that in half because you're pulling the kick, but you're doing a good enough one for it to perform. So, New Rogue, you will take 1 point of damage from getting kicked forwards onto the ground.
Fuck.
This is all who are alive.
Yes.
She asks.
Send for the generals. I wish to have quorum with them.
Excellent. A moment. And she turns and you see her whisper to the demon folk that are in the front rank. And you see them turn and look back, and their eyes flicker with an unholy color as it filters back through the rank of demon to demon to demon. Not the one right next to them. They are passing a long distance. Anytime they make eye contact, the news is passed back. And then the lights flicker back through the demons, through all of their eyes, until it hits this snake woman. And she turns back to you and says, "There is life within the tree. There is life there that must be snuffed out. We will advance, and the generals will join you. We will surround it so there can be no escape for the life."
Yes, good. Surround the tree.
Excellent. And the army starts moving. Tyler, what you realize at this moment is the army is much closer to you, and you can see the palanquins and tents are being brought forwards. Again, dragged, carried towards where you are. The challenge is you are about 40 feet from the tree, and there is a fake wall extending from the tree to the edge of the rootless evergreen. This army will march through that fake wall if they get about 40 feet further. Do you want to stop them? Is there something you want to do, or do you want to try to spring your ambush? Right now, the tents and palanquins are about 60 feet away.
All right.
The furthest back is the demon one. That one's about 120. The general tents of the other factions are about 60 feet away from.
And this
the
snake
front.
woman is still here in front of me?
Yes.
Okay.
She's
so
standing and holding
drop.
position.
I can't drop kayfabe. I have to. I just yell out as loud as I can. Just stop.
Can you roll me as the mists swirl up around you?
Oh,
A single d6.
that's a 1.
You yell stop.
Yep.
But these are not your spiritually controlled troops.
Yeah.
These are armies controlled by other doppelgangers, and you don't have the same sway over them you would imagine you might over mortal armies.
And I have to be cruel and say, as I see like my command is like not being followed, I'll just say, I said stop, and I'll chop at this snake lady right in front of me.
Great. Roll me an attack.
14 plus 5 for 19.
That will hit. Roll me your damage.
That is 7 plus 3 for 10? 10 damage.
Nice.
You hack from her shoulder into her torso, but the glaive stops. It doesn't sink deeply enough to kill her.
No.
It just does a solid but surprisingly ineffective blow.
Yeah.
You would expect this to chop much deeper, but you're realizing how hardy these snake people are.
Yeah.
And the army doesn't slow. The army doesn't stop around you. Del, you realize the armies are closing in and are about to hit the wall. What do? You are behind it, seeing through a hole that this is about to occur.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to move all of the people, like there's dancing and all of that stuff. I'm gonna try to move if I can all the people to the middle as the army's coming around both sides.
So you were trying to get the crowd back and away from the wall
yes,
into some of the, I imagine, the like root sculpted homes and other things around.
Yes.
It's going to take you persuading this crowd because you can't do it verbally. How do you do this?
I'm just, I feel like it's just riding around on Rumble Foreskin, like shoving, like sheepdog style, trying to shove these people away from the edges and doing an arc.
You are hurting them. I can understand that. And the mist swirls up around you during this time. Can you roll me a d6?
Okay. No, it's a 3.
Oh, bye, kids.
We're gonna shit all the beds now.
You and Rumple Foreskin are trying to run around to herd these youths. Unfortunately, the ground is incredibly uneven, and partway through, Rumple Foreskin's front hoof slips between two roots, and they are stuck. They cannot move. They cannot continue any further. Like, I'm so sorry, Dale. I don't know what else we're supposed to do. But like, I'm going to be stuck here, and it's going to go bad. It's going to go so bad.
Yeah. That's all right. You're stuck here, then I'm stuck here. Then we're just I don't know what we're gonna do.
Okay. Adam, you are up, or a shadow nemesis. You are up and inside your hut looking down at the army stepping towards the wall. You can see Tyler below you. You can see New Rogue below you. You know, if you peek your head up, you could do this realistically with minimal risk. You can see in the distance that the tents are coming. They are about 60 feet away from the front line of troops that have stopped near Tyler, while the demon tent, the biggest one that you would imagine contains Acer Sanguine, is about 120 feet away. What do you do?
I guess first I pull up the rope so that there's no rope.
We'll say you did that before they got here. I'll give you that.
Okay. I'm so well hidden and pull me down. Just so I'm understanding this little like cloud I'm in, is it like see-through? Like I can see out in every direction, or can I only see out the hole below me?
Let's see if it specifies. An invisible entrance opens to an extra-dimensional space that lasts until the spell ends. That's an hour, by the way. It can be reached by climbing to the top of the rope. The space can hold as many as 8 medium or smaller creatures. The rope can be pulled into the space, making the rope disappear from view outside the space. Attacks can't cross through the entrance into or out of the extra dimensional space, but those inside can see out of it as if through a 3-foot by 5-foot window centered on the rope. So you can see out the hole, but not like it's not like a crystal castle or anything like that. It is just yeah.
So just the whole entrance is
just
what
through the entrance.
Just the hole. You essentially are inside a domed room in another dimension, able to see through the gap that you entered through.
So am I able to hear like the yelling of stop and everything and
sound? You hear the yelling of stop. Yep, you can hear it. You look down. You see, looking from above, you're seeing the crowd stopped close to Tyler, but you're seeing the wave progressing elsewhere. So it's almost an omega sign of an advancing line, leaving room around Tyler and the captives, but they are advancing to surround the tree.
Okay, I want to assist in trying to stop the armies from coming. So, I'm going to, okay, I'm going to use thaumaturgy and, and I can't see Del, right? Because Del's behind the wall. I can't see Del.
No, Del is behind the tree. You cannot see Del.
Okay. Oh, man. All right, I'm going to say, in like a booming voice, you should listen to Streamlabbing Tyler. So says Ezra, God of the universe.
I have to ask, New Rogue, how do you react to this? You've got kicked over, you're pretending to be a prisoner, and you hear, at first, Shadow Nemesis yelling enhanced, and then you hear Shadow Nemesis pretending to be Ezra.
I'm just thinking we're boned.
What else am I gonna do?
I know. I'm just like, oh God. And I lean to Tyler because I've seen that he's hit this snake woman, and I'm like, throw me, just attack me, throw me back there before they make their way to the backdrop. Just do it. You need to do a broad gesture. Just fucking come on, buddy. Just do something. Throw me.
Does the snake lady hear all that?
Okay, we got to do a couple rolls here all at once, which are going to be super fun. Shadow Nemesis, can you roll me a persuasion?
Persuasion.
I'm going to let that one just be a flat normal roll unless there's anything you want to add to it. Del, can you roll me a sleight of hand to try to free Rumple Foreskin from where they are stuck? I'm imagining that's what you would want to be doing in this instance.
That'd be great.
At the same time, can you roll me a perception? New Rogue, can you roll me a stealth?
Could I argue deception?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, because that's +5, so I'd rather deceive.
Okay, New Rogue, what did you get?
21.
21.
Damn.
There is an army marching around. There are things being bellowed from above. These are not just 10 people taking a walk. This is an army, and a bunch of them are in armor or other equipment. It is a lot of noise. If you do not want to be heard, you won't be heard. The snake lady is not reacting to what New Rogue is saying. To circle around so I can picture this whole picture. Del, what did you get for either?
Sleight of hand. Okay, I didn't roll them yet because I wanted to make sure that.
Yeah,
okay,
sleight of hand
first. That is 17.
17. Okay, and then what's your perception?
I rolled an @1 on perception, which means I have to roll ghosts. I try to perceive something and ghosts start bothering me.
That feels right. That feels right.
Okay, and it is. Oh, I am deafened by ghost voices for 1 minute. So ghosts are just melting down.
You manage to free Rumple Foreskin's hoof, and that's when you just start hearing the screaming and howling of ghosts closing in from you on all sides. It is bewildering, deafening. You can't even understand what they're saying. It's so many overlapping voices all at once. Shadow Nemesis, What did you get on your deception?
21.
Shit.
21.
It's a popular number.
You yell out as the voice of Ezra. And that's when the fire newts stop marching. They falter. They're not sure what to do on their side of things. Their chants of Ezra have broken up. Tyler, New Rogue has requested you to throw him, to make a big gesture. What do you do?
I'll leave the glaive and the snake woman and use that now free hand to like grab New Rogue and say, cast your thaumaturgy magic on me, slave.
Never. You are
I shake
evil.
you and I say, do it.
Okay, if you wish, then thaumaturgy, give it to you.
And with a magnified voice, I will throw New Rogue kind of into the dirt towards that crowd, and I will once again, with a big booming voice, shout out, "Halt!"
And the army stops and turns to face you. And that's we'll take a quick commercial break.
Gah!
Now I have a question.
Sure.
I just realized this. The bracelet I have on my wrist prevents me from lying.
Yes, but you did lie.
But
Okay.
Okay, but
Yeah,
hear me
we're
out.
not going to go. Hear me out.
Hear me out. Okay, so I say the line, and then under my breath, so nobody can hear, I say, "But that's not true because I'm lying." And then that's like,
would
but it's all
love
one
that.
sentence.
But we all know that was an active deception roll, Adam. You specified it wasn't persuasion, it was deception, so it has to be a lie. But here's the thing. Magical items, much like dungeon masters, have limits.
Oh no.
And sometimes they can only do as much as they can do. And then they have to make things work. Which is why you're shocked to realize that you have just lied. That it came out. The realization comes to you, Shadow Nemesis, as it did to the rest of us around this table. And your mind is almost melting. How could this be possible if you're wearing a bracelet of truth? And that's when a wave of agony comes up your arm and strikes you.
Oh, I thought I was
You
going to
take 10 points of damage.
Oh,
And when you look down, you see a severed hand wearing a bracelet of truth lying on the floor inside the dome.
my hand fell off.
Your hand was severed by a bracelet.
Just popped off?
Oh, I'm conflicted because I can lie now. All right, I want to take the ring off and then shove my hand back on and try to kind of like smush it on. and then I go to Shadow Master. I'm like, heal me, Shadow Master. Heal it back on.
I can't do that. That's not how this works. Also, don't. It hurts when you press that hard. Can you give me a medicine?
Medicine. That's +2. That's not bad.
Not bad.
That is a total of 19.
19. Great. You managed to not hurt yourself holding it there, but you realize if you keep going, you will.
Okay. I curse to myself and I put the hand in my pocket and so I don't lose it. And I guess can I just say again so have they stopped as I'm like my hand's off?
They have stopped below you. Your hand came off, but you tried to put it back on. So you're kind of doing your own thing for a second. But Tyler yelled to the army to halt. They've all stopped. What do you want to do?
I say, with thaumaturgy, I'm like, oh, good. Now watch a sign from the heavens as I cry blood. And I want to kind of like smoosh some blood out of my stump so that some blood falls from the sky. And I'm like, it's a miracle.
Great. Can you roll me a d4?
God, no. That there is a 2.
Great. You take 2 more points of damage from not even squishing the blood out, just releasing your stump and it's spraying blood out of the sky. And that is when the palanquins keep moving forwards. These tents move forwards to the very edge of the crowd in front of Tyler, and they set down. And you see figures from a nightmare stepping forwards. Out of one, a 12-foot tall giant, a form of Adam, with one head looking like Adam, but it's drooling, and it's stupid, and it's awful. And another head dripping black sludge that looks spiritually like Shadow Master or just a form of darkness to all of you, stepping out in front of the dwarves. You see Pope Watefin, a donkey-headed meat, like were-donkey, but with rotting flesh with the ghostly limbs, step out of a tent, followed by several skeletal figures. You see a version of Dell none of you had really gotten a close look at. She's green-skinned, she's powerful, she has strong evil witch vibes. And next to her, stepping out of this tent, is a muscular black warhorse breathing flames. And last but not least, you see Acer Sanguine step out of a tent. Alongside Lucretia Sanguine, who joins. And you see 3 demonic preteens, the oldest of which looks like Adam, the next of which looks like Tyler, and the youngest of which at about 8 years or 9 years of age, you would guess, looks like New Rogue. And you see Acer step forwards and say, interesting. You've put on quite a show with your bloody sky, Ezra, and stream-labbing Tyler. You've brought me, what is this, New Rogue, the Chosen One? Interesting. To be specific, Acer is about 40 feet from you. The other 3 are about 30 feet from you in a ring spread around. So when you are looking at them, they are in the order that the armies presented for you, Tyler, and New Rogue, who is next to Tyler within about 5 feet. So equivalently, you're about at the same space. You have Pope Watefin to the furthest left. Then you have the Night Hag, the like Dell's evil version, and the evil horse. Acer Sanguine slightly further back, and then to your right is the giant 2-headed Adam. I have a lot of things in my head, so I gotta track a lot of fucking shit right now. Dell, you are hearing the screaming of all these ghosts, and it's distracting you for a moment. And that's when you realize you're not just hearing the screaming of ghosts. And you look up and you are seeing holes being torn in the base of the rootless evergreen as one-eyed demons are hauling themselves out of flames from underground, and they are grabbing the werefolk who are on this side.
Oh.
And you realize the enemy knows you're here, and they are acting accordingly. This is very bad. Unfortunately, you don't have a chance to act yet, because this is all happening slightly out of sync. And Acer Sanguine steps backwards, Tyler, which is interesting, and says, "You've done so much for me, etc., etc., and you laid such a beautiful trap, Tyler. You did such impressive work. And yet, you were all undone by a compatriot you left behind. And that's when you see the Doctor Deputy step out of Acer's tent and say, I'm on the side of real devil now. I got my Black Knight, I got my Black King, and I'm getting your body, dickhead. He points at you, Tyler.
Oh. Part of me is like, come and take it, you little motherfucker. And that's like 1%. And the rest is like, oh no. 99% is, just the slump, the drop in the shoulders, and just, I don't know what to do.
And that's when you see Acer Sanguine raise a hand and say, my champions are going to kill you now. But the true joy is in showing the people who trusted you that they can't. And Acer swings his hand right, and with a blast of fire, immolates Bob Gilsby.
Oh no.
Bob.
Bob Gilsby burns to death in the midst of the fake captives. No. New Rogue, you've watched your great plan as the chosen one fall to pieces because of an evil doll who worships the god of death. What do you do?
Well, I've been knocked back, so I realize what my initial plan of deception has gone awry. Everything's fucked up. So I stand back up on my feet. I'm worried to hell about Jack Magnum because his guardian has just been immolated. So, all right. I look at Dr. Deputy. I'm just like, little guy, little dude, no. And so the only plan I have is like, I forcefully walk towards them. I'm like, hark, evildoers. You speak to a worshiper, a cleric of Ezra, one of the many and most powerful gods in this realm. I say I'm to take you all on myself to prove how valiant and worthy I am. And you know how I know that I have what it takes to demolish every single one of you? And then as I'm talking, I have my hand in my pouch and I'm like clawing off the Tylenol container.
Oh no.
You know, the Tylenol, like the labels, any labeling, I've been just like thumbing it.
Yep.
I know this for a fact because when I landed in this realm.
Where you stand.
Okay.
We accept your challenge, says Acer Sanguine.
Great, but I haven't.
Face and Poop Eater will face you first.
Which one's that?
Attack. Can you roll me initiative, New Rogue?
Come.
Oh yes, good.
Do I use my perspiration? Okay, yeah. I'm using my perspiration. I'm gonna use my D6 to see if I can use inspiration.
Okay, yeah.
To reroll. Okay. That's a 5. Perspiration. Okay.
Yep, you got your inspiration.
All right, and I'm gonna use my inspiration for a reroll. Come on, babies. Can you all blow on this, by the way, everybody? Thank you. Okay.
Did we do bad?
Can I add anything to it? That's a 12.
That's a 12. You are going first. You find yourself, despite your panic, turning and seeing the 12-foot tall evil version of Adam look surprised. The drooling head is confused. It's shaking as though he couldn't quite hear, and the other head's going, oh, come on! But you will get to act first in this duel. New Rogue, what do you do? You're 30 feet from your opponent.
30 feet.
Or I guess you are diagonally about 20 feet from your opponent because you're walking forwards.
And how far away is Sanguine?
Acer Sanguine is 40 feet away from you.
I say, but first you didn't let me finish. And then I am going to use my mist cape, and I'm going to misty step. And I can see Acer, and I would like to misty step right behind him.
Okay, you successfully do that.
Okay. And so I misty step behind him and I place my hand on his shoulder and I say, listen to what I have to say. And I retrieve my my Tylenol and I'm like, I could easily defeat any of these doppelgangers. And do you want to know why?
Okay, can you roll me an attack roll? So to cast Misty Step, I believe, is a bonus action. So that's fine, and that takes place outside of your usual turn. Your hands do hurt people.
That is true.
Can you roll me an attack to see if you could touch Acer Sanguine?
Come on. 60 damage.
Yeah. I add my strength to that. That is an 8.
That is an 8. You reach out and miss Acer Sanguine, who instinctively stepped away from you, appearing in a cloud of mist. And Acer rolls a nat 20 for Acer's initiative. So Acer steps back. You appear ready to give a speech. And due to that 20, Acer attacks because combat has begun anew while yelling, "Champions, kill them!" Acer is going to attack you. The first attack will be a 13, which will not hit. And the second will be... that one is a 19 to hit, which is more than your AC. So you will take...
come on, 1 point of damage. Just a light slap.
He shakes your hand firmly.
You will take 8 regular damage and 8 regular damage and 1 fire damage for 9 total as you are slammed with the trident wielded by the evil Acer Sanguine that stabs deep into your stomach before withdrawing. And Acer says, "Deception so below you to try to play my game."
There is no deception. Fuck.
Now I need... oh, sorry. Go ahead. You're giving really long speeches and very brief.
I'm sorry. I must quickly take the pills of power that were bestowed upon me by Ezra. The more I take...
okay, I need everybody to roll initiative while he's talking.
Don't steal these from me and then chug Tylenol. That would be bad.
All right, Tyler. I'll try to go through these one at a time so I can track everybody's initiative score. Yeah, Del, I need one from you on the other side of the tree as well. Tyler, what did you get?
Sorry, I only rolled once. I have advantage thanks to the amulet of the all-seeing eye on initiative rolls. So that's instead of a 16, that's an 18 initiative.
New Rogue, I already have yours.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shadow Nemesis, where are you at?
Does danger sense work for...
no, it does not.
Okay.
Pulling out all the stops here.
Right now, the only trap is one you failed to spring.
Right. Why they didn't say the thing? I rolled 19.
19, okay. Okay, I have so many people to roll. Adele, what did you get?
Nat 20.
Yay! Okay.
Yes, thank God.
Just paint an anvil and just drop it on everybody. Oh, God, that Tylenol plan. I love it. I love it so much. Oh, my God. It's like pure Looney Tunes. Like rabbit season, duck season, rabbit season. No, it's rabbit season. It could still work.
It's gonna be a moment, folks. I got a lot of characters.
Oh, you don't want me to eat this Tylenol, do you? Well, guess what?
He doesn't know it's Tylenol, though.
Magic bottle, okay. Crunch, crunch. Oh, my heart.
Oh,
Oh, I love it.
crunch.
I love
right.
it.
Fuck everybody. That's a good idea.
They can still eat. Hey, we're in battle. It can still happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Del
Joke
and
that
Tyler,
Tylenol.
what are your dex modifiers?
+1, I think. Let me double check. Yep, +1.
+2.
Man.
As proper combat officially breaks out, we will count new rogues' actions as a surprise round. Aether will be the first person to have attacked in this massive round of championship-based combat. Oh, I forgot fucking Dr. Deputy. Just a second. Dr. Deputy rolls a nat 1 on initiative. Nothing has ever been truer than that happens.
All right.
Yay.
Aether Sanguine stabs New Rogue, who immediately tries to give a monologue about something while the rest of the world breaks into open warfare. Pope with Teffin charges forwards into combat to defend Acer Sanguine, just leaping forwards, donkey-powered strides towards the foolish or the heroic, the chosen one, New Rogue. New Rogue, you close within the unholy aura of Pope Watefin as the Pope runs towards you, also having rolled a nat 20 for initiative.
Fuck.
Can you roll me a DC 13 Constitution saving throw? I'll tell you the DC on this one. It's magic. You're a godly person.
Okay, so I'm rolling my d20. Let's do this. Okay, so I rolled a 15.
15, you are fine. You can withstand the magic. The power of Ezra flows through you.
Damn right.
As this happens. Do not take an attack from there. However, you are attacked by the spectral limbs of this evil version of you.
No.
He has advantage now that you are surrounded by multiple foes and have been stabbed, and it will be a 13 to hit, meaning he will be unsuccessful in attacking you with his spectral limbs at this time.
Great.
You are now engaged with both Acer Sanguine and Pope Watefin. Shadow Nemesis, you are extending a bleeding limb out of a hole in the sky, spraying blood down below you when this all goes to absolute shit. What do you do?
Oh God. I'm so mad at Dr. Deputy, but I also see Lucretia, who now just remind me from the first time I met Lucretia to now, what has this been, like a week, like 5 days or something?
Yeah,
If
barely
that?
a week.
Okay, so I'd be like, okay, I'm like, I'm all right. I'll deal with Dr. Deputy later. And I want a thaumaturgy to Lucretia.
You can make yourself louder. You can't target someone, but you can be really loud.
Oh, okay. I'll just be like, hey, Lucretia, come here.
Loud so that everyone can hear.
Come here.
She's next to Acer in combat and hears your voice yelling that. She looks up.
Babe, come on. Come here.
She sees you leaning out of the hole yelling at her.
Come on. Lucretia, seriously. Come on. Come here.
She... can you roll me a persuasion?
Come here, sex in my igloo. Come here.
Does it give you disadvantage because this is insane in the midst of a war zone that's breaking out?
It's me. Remember me. Come on. We're boyfriend, girlfriend.
I can give you double disadvantage based on something you said I would.
Persuasion. All right.
Yep.
It's disadvantage?
Yep.
I would want to use inspiration to make that not be a thing.
It will be a neutral roll.
Oh, okay. I also have perspiration. Do I have to like?
Roll a d6, baby.
Why am I so honest? Jesus. Okay. All right.
Because if you keep cheating, I will take your other hand.
Stump Nemesis. Yeah.
Stump Nemesis.
All right. It's a 1, so that's not what's happening. All right. So I'm.
Yep, you have disadvantage again.
All right.
Quadruple disadvantage.
Okay. All right. Persuasion. It's a 5 total.
Yeah, she looks at you, and somehow in your head you can hear her go, ugh. That's all you get back, and she does not approach.
Oh no! I'm just sad.
Tyler, you have heard an attempted summons. You're watching New Rogue get bracketed in by 2 villains. You stand alone after the death of Bob Gilsby, and you can see the various champions looking to attack. What do you do?
Yeah, as if it matters anymore, I'll shout out, "Holler back, girl." I don't know why that even matters, but I felt someone should say it just in case.
Adele hasn't arrived yet, so it's a reasonable thing to think you're summoning her.
Adele hasn't arrived yet, and I know for a fact she can hear me because she could hear me the last time I saw her, and surely nothing has happened between now and then that would cause her to go deaf. But that's another story. I'm going to run 10 feet towards Acer Sanguine, and then I'm going to use my Hex Blood ability, Misty Step, that I can use once per long rest to travel the other 30 feet. And if he's turned around to strike at New Rogue, then I want to show up at his back.
Great.
I want to. I won't say anything yet, but I just want to strike out at him with my greatsword.
Great, you do so. Roll your attack.
Okay. Do I get advantage because Guy is here? Because New Rogue is facing him down.
I will pose an interesting question to you.
Sure.
Would you leave yourself open to possible attacks of opportunity by Lucretia or her kids to have advantage?
No, because I plan on briefly exchanging words with her. And
okay,
I don't
because
want
Lucretia is right there.
Yeah,
so it's like if you wanted to swing and your focus was solely on attack, you could have advantage.
Yeah.
But it would theoretically leave you open to attacks of opportunity if she goes the other way. You don't know where she stands on any of this. But otherwise, if you want to attack normally, then I won't give people advantage on attacking you because you're behind Acer.
Well, then I'll just take it as a straight roll, but I will use one of my inspiration to give me advantage.
Perfect.
If that's acceptable. Okay.
The mist swirls up around you and gives you another point. So clearly, it fully supports this plan of attack.
Thank you, Watchers. That's a 19. Let's crit this dude. Come on. Nope. Okay. So 19 plus 5 to hit. 4.
That will hit.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
2d6 plus 3.
Come on. Big hit. Big
6
swing.
plus 3 for 9 damage.
9 damage. You do
You
do 9 damage to him. Yeah.
Yeah. I slash across his back. I don't think even opening a wound is just like a thwack from my blade, not being a precise enough strike to cut him, but to just give him a big smack on the back. And I'll just say to Lucretia, help us finish this, and we'll take you with us.
Can you roll me a persuasion?
Yep. So 14. I'm going to burn one of my, now again, 2 inspirations to see if we can get a little higher. We cannot. So 14 plus persuasion for 0. 14. Straight 14.
She looks at you and just says, "Oh, darling, you don't have what I need for that." And you receive no help.
Yep.
At which point, a giant skeleton minotaur riding a skeletal warhorse burst out of Pope Watefin's tent. And you hear Pope Watefin yell, "Ezra! Baby, defend me!" And they charge across the space to attack New Rogue.
What?
So, New Rogue, your first. Oh, there we go. Will be a 23 to hit, which will hit.
Why won't they just eat the Tylenol? Like, why won't they
As you're dying, you're like, eat it! My power!
This is the one shot.
To celebrate, I so chugged Tylenol. Whoa!
And you take on the charge
No.
14 points of damage as the skeletal minotaur's great axe swings down and hammers into you.
I am dead on the ground. I am knocked out. That's
You would normally be, but your Terminator 2 poster tattoo.
it's resistant to necrotic damage.
That isn't the thing that helps you, but that is also accurate.
Oh, right.
It lights up because you would go to 0 HP and start dying, but it returns you to consciousness with 1 point. So the power of Terminator 2 flows through you and keeps you on your feet with 1 point of health. That's when the horse rears up. The skeletal war horse rears up.
Oh, more.
And I use a point of advantage given to it by the mists. Ooh. It gets around a point of perspiration. And it rolls a 17. What is your AC, New Rogue?
16.
17.
And that is when
is more than 16.
you take 11 points of damage.
All right.
And
So it was like,
now you fall to the ground and you start to die. And that's the end of this episode. Yay!
That's the end of this episode, listener, but next week you could become a watcher and affect the Jesters' adventures by joining our Twitch stream, which happens every Wednesday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That's Toronto time. If you join our Twitch chat, you can give the cast magical items, name NPCs, and decide the events that shape Ravenloft. So, catch up on the story, follow Dum Dum Dice on Twitch, and join our weekly stream right away. Jesters of Ravenloft features the voices of players Tyler Hewitt, Del Borovic, Guy Bradford, and Adam McNamara, alongside Dungeon Master Ryan LaPlante. This episode was edited and mixed by Laura Hamstra, and Jesters of Ravenloft's artwork was created by Del Borovic at delborovic.com. That's DELBOROVIC. Our theme song is Dark Mysterious Halloween Night by Sound Gallery by Dimitri Taras. And our ad breaks use the tracks No Control and Chiefs by Jazzar, JAHZZAR, whose music is available at freemusicarchive.org. For all things Dum-Dums and Dice, including merchandise and how to join our Patreon, you can visit dumdumdice.com or find us on social media at dumdumdice. That's DUMBDUMBDICE. Now get out of here before the mist gets you too!
Dum-Dums and Dice has to give a special thank you to the supreme beings of our Patreon at this time: Christopher Little, George Dolby, Richard Cranium, Gavin and Abby McDonald, Logan, Fire Unfriendly, Grandma Likes D&D, Alan, Stabby Stranger, Glitch Trick, Flynn1138, Alarain Okapi, Schrodinger's Pepper, Madre de Gatos, Lady Maiden, Garbo Ape, Locke, Sam Schaefer, Waffle Marine, Dagger Rain, Rob L, Dia De Los Hoodless, Squishy Werewolf, Remy, Funky Head, Nomad, the Wise Paladin of the Badlands, Accent Therapeutic Services in Florence, Kentucky, Lael, Shulzari, The Long Family, Jordan Oliver, Richard Wright, Brittany Fenwick, Alex Parr, Old Man Mojo, Dragonfly, The Body Barrelers, Megan Werner, A Man Out of Time, Curtis at FingerTechRobotics.com, Panda24NN, Shendra D, Your Homeboy Bones, The Gata Family, Ellis Hatch, Odigenous, Dan the Welshman, Afflicto Gaming, and Jill and Noel LaPlante. If you want your name to be added to this list, you can join our Patreon too at patreon.com/dumbdumbdice. Thanks to them, and a little bit of thanks to you.